Now, live from Rogers, Arkansas, watching the Ozark skies from Walton and Walnut to Vanderbilt and the Fort. Here's the whiz of Oz weather, Garrett Lewis.
Time now is 5:15. We do have a tornado warning just west of the Arkansas-Oklahoma state line. It is tracking towards northwest Arkansas, specifically northwest Washington County and most of central Benton County. It will likely bisect the county from the southwest to the northeast. There have been some indications on radar that this thing has been on the ground, at least at times. It is radar indicated as far as the debris goes. Let me show you where this is and then what happens next with this storm. First, a wide view. You can see the showers and storms moving in. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for Benton and Washington County, but it's that little red polygon that has us most concerned. That's the area to watch for rotation and some of the stronger storms. I'll loop this one more time and then stop it and get a little bit closer into the storm and show you what's happening here. So this is the supercell storm. This is the red polygon indicating the tornado warning. It's likely this tornado warning does get extended, and I think it probably does include Benton County as well as Washington County when it gets extended. So keep that in mind. You probably will hear tornado sirens soon, and this is a storm that you need to take very seriously. Looking from Siloam Springs, there's not much happening at the moment. This is westbound. You can see Cherokee Casino at the top left of the screen. Looks like there's some police officers there at the right side, probably watching for the storm to come in from the west to the east. There are more storms out there, too. So this is the first in a series of storms. I'm also watching storms in south central Oklahoma. Those storms may indeed threaten the Fort Smith area. You can see these back to the south-southwest. These are also tornado warned from McAlester back down through Ardmore, moving north and northeast. The one that has my attention, though, is this storm. This is the one I'm most concerned with. It's southwest of Siloam Springs. And looking at the velocity images inside the storm, we can see where that rotation is just west of Westville. Now, if I loop this, you guys can tell how it has been a little stronger at times right there, and it's weaker at the moment. See it move in? It's weakened somewhat, but a lot of times these things will cycle, especially supercell storms like this. They'll cycle up and down as the rotation essentially occludes and cuts off the parent circulation that's underway, and then a new circulation forms on the back side of it. So that's likely what's happening now. So I do think this thing still continues. Now, a couple interesting notes. There is some showers and storms out ahead of the storm, which we did anticipate today, and that may mess with the overall environment and may make it a little less conducive to sustained long track tornadoes, but tornadoes will certainly be possible with the storm that's moving in. As it stands now, that's the main storm that's out there. I'm going to go over to Analyst real quick and isolate the rotation. First, a big picture view of what's happening. You can see these storms that are moving in, again, from southwest to northeast. That one's had a little bit of a right turn on it. That's something we expected to see. These right turning storms typically do produce tornadoes. That storm is getting close to Siloam Springs. This is a big heads up for those of you in Benton County, especially for the possibility of a tornado warning. Just to give you a heads up, this thing is headed towards my house too. So we're going to see how this plays out over time. I'll try to keep streaming as long as I can. I do have some battery backups and the internet's on backup as well. But obviously, if it gets a little too close for comfort, I'm going to head to the bathroom with the kiddos. So we'll see how this goes with time. The Weather Service trimmed back the warning, elected not to extend it at the moment. But it is a storm that could have additional warnings put out for it. Remember how I said it was cycling? I think that's what's going on here with the storm. Let me zoom in here. Still has that classic kidney bean shape hook to it. And then isolating the rotation. The rotation is located west of Westville, tracking out towards Christie. Another look at where the rotation is. One moment here. Okay, so back to the radar data here and storm relative. Pinpointing the tornado would be right here west of Christie. Normalized rotation picks up on that very well. At the moment, I don't see that it's on the ground. I'm looking for blue colors right in here, which would indicate debris in the beam. I don't see those. It's co-located with where the tornado would be, but a strong couplet is right there. So as far as where this rotation is in relation to everyone else, this is about 32 miles west southwest of Springdale and about 37 miles west southwest of Rogers. It's about 34 miles southwest of Bentonville. On its immediate track, and again, focus in on that red-blue couplet there, it appears as if it clips northwestern Washington County. Its current track may go just south of Siloam Springs, but it will certainly be close. Another little area that just popped up. I don't know if you guys saw it. See it right there? This one is certainly the strongest, though, and that's the one that has the tornado warning on it. Elsewhere, tornado warnings are also in effect southwest of McAlester. These storms near Atoka could threaten the Fort Smith area in due time as well. Just noted a water rescue here. This is around Tishmingo in central Oklahoma. But given the nature of the storms and how much rainfall is in here, I do think the possibility is going to be there for some flash flooding this evening too. So back to this storm, we've got the tornado vortex signature just popped up. You can see the little green triangle there that puts the meso up to about 5,000 feet. An intense storm here, still tight. No debris signature at the moment. Maximum estimated hail size, just under quarter size, not as big as what hit Springdale last night. But this storm is tracking northeast, and I do think it gets extended with tornado warnings probably coming soon for Washington and for Benton County. What I don't like about this storm is how it's hooked more to the right. When it turns right like that, it's able to really ingest a lot of that low level spin a lot better. And when that happens, you typically do get more turning in the low levels. This is the storm of interest and the storm to watch for right now. This is the one I'm going to be tracking for a little bit here for you. If I look to the south, there's nothing going on in Fort Smith, although these storms near McAlester and Kiowa will also move towards the greater Fort Smith area here in due time. I'm going to change radar sources here and go to a different one to give you an animated look at a big picture view of this. And it looks like we just got, remember that one to the, yep, sure enough. All right, we got a new tornado warning now. This is a tornado warning for Benton County. It's with the northern cell. It's with the one we were just talking about a second ago. So it's not with the cell that has been warned on, but it's with the secondary cell. And I'm going to go back to analyst because I think it does a better job of really showing you where the rotation is strongest. Remember just a second ago, I was like, we got something going on. It's right there. Now, it's not tight. It's not wrapped up real tight right now, but this is going to track towards Gravette and potentially Bella Vista. The center of the rotation on this storm is located about 18 miles west southwest of Bella Vista, and that's moving to the north and to the northeast. We also have, it looks as if the tornado is still strengthening here in northern Adair County. I think that one is one to watch. 2 tornado warnings now in effect, one for eastern Adair County, another for Benton and Delaware County. Both of these have the potential to produce a tornado. Both of these are going to bisect central Benton County. So we do have that 2 tornado warnings as of right now for Benton County. We have one in Adair County, another one just to the south out towards Cherokee County. And again, those are going to be moving towards the north and towards the northeast. All right, so let's get in on these storms and track these a little bit more for you. We have two areas of rotation to watch. We have one west of Decatur. If you're in Gravette, move to a safe place now. Get away from the windows, get into an interior hallway. If you're farther to the south, a heads up out towards Asylum Springs, Pawneetown, Lowell, and Rogers. I think the next tornado warning they issue, it's probably going to be very soon, and it will likely encompass most of Benton County as well as Washington County. Two rotating storms. It's 5:25 on Monday. Some schools dismissed early. I'm glad they did. These things could have popped off really at any point in time, but they now are tornado warned. So let's check the storm first that's threatening Benton County. Again, that rotation is not tight. Those blues and those greens need to be just a smidgen closer together to get that thing down on the ground. It's great that it's not, but it is something to watch. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the correlation coefficient here to look for debris. I don't see anything on that. Normalized rotation is also very loose on this storm, which indicates to us that we're not looking at anything super tight. But if there is a tornado that forms, Gravette is in the immediate path of this. If you live in Gravette, out towards Hiwassee, out towards the Highlands, and the west side of Bella Vista, you need to move to a safe place now and get away from windows. Again, this is a tornado warned storm here. If we look out towards the Highlands, this is looking northbound. I'm going to check a couple of iDrive cameras. The rain has started to move in. We should see that wall cloud start to move over the area here shortly. Another look at it, tracking to the east and to the northeast. If we look southbound from Gravette at exit 100, the storm should come into view here, and we should be able to see if anything's on the ground as it moves through. Again, this is exit 100 near Gravette on the Bella Vista bypass looking southbound. So it's just west and southwest of Gravette. Again, that's a loose rotation. It's not tight. There's also another one right there, too, to the south. We'll see if this thing wraps up anymore. This one is still blowing and going just south of us, and I do think this one has the potential to continue with that tornado risk as we move into Benton County as well. That one also is not entirely wrapped up at the moment. There's nothing that indicates to us that we have a tornado on the ground with that storm. That's west and southwest of Westville. Regardless, all of us are going to be getting these showers and storms, some very intense here within about the next hour in central Benton County, northwest Washington County. Now, as far as the track of that rotation, I feel like it goes north of Fayetteville. It's going to move through potentially Rogers, and it could move through Bentonville and Bella Vista on the southernmost storm. There's a lot of cell-to-cell interactions that are also going on here as well. So it's not it's kind of a messy environment that will mess with the tornado genesis and the ability for these storms to actually put down tornadoes. But having said that, there is rotation on the storm, and it is a storm that does have that potential to continue to intensify here. That's west of Westville. Also a storm here in western Benton County. Looks like that rotation pocket is now coming through the western side of the county, southwest of Gravette. I should be moving over that camera momentarily. We'll have a good look at where it is. A wide view of the storms here shows additional development back to the west and southwest. Numerous tornado warnings, too, that are underway here west of Fort Smith. These could track towards the Fort Smith area. New severe thunderstorm warning. This one was just issued here. This is coming up towards Tahlequah and Muskogee. I'll show you that on radar. So that's a new one that just popped up. It's that little yellow flashing one there. So that one could also move towards Benton County in time. At the moment, that's going to stay closer to Muskogee. We'll go back to the wide view of this. So as of right now, we have about, let's see, 5 tornado warnings in effect. One moving into the west, northwest side of Benton County. Another one threatening Siloam Springs on the southwest side of Benton County. And about 3 more southwest of Fort Smith that could get into the River Valley in due time as well. Let's isolate the rotation. I know we've got the rain coming down big time out towards Gravette. Got a couple pockets of rotation here, even some anticyclonic rotation. Analysts may give us a better view. It's messy, guys. I like messy because messy means that it's harder for these tornadoes to form. That said, right here, we do have that potential for a tornado that's west southwest of Gravette that's going to come into frame here just in a few seconds here, actually. Looking live from exit 100. So we'll have to see how this shakes out and plays out. On the backside, I'm also noticing right in here, something's coming up in this area as well, although that looks to me more like damaging winds on the backside. Doesn't look that impressive when you look at just the radar. It's hard to see a hook, but when you isolate just the winds, there's also something cooking right in this area as well. So the higher tornado risk right now continues for Gravette. I'm sure the sirens are sounding in Benton County now. Within that polygon, probably Decatur, Bella Vista, Sulphur Springs, and Gravette. The storm will move right over the Bella Vista bypass shortly. They did, well, actually, I'm looking down here to the south. This warning, when does this tornado warning expire? This is moving northeast at 30. This expires in 15 minutes. I think the Weather Service probably does put a new warning on this, but we'll have to wait and see. This one looks stronger to me to the south. You can see the darker green colors, and we have a constant mesocyclone that keeps popping up as well on this, which indicates the presence of mid-level spinning, meso, mid, cyclone spin. So that mid-level spin. I'm also seeing some overshooting tops. I'm going to show you this real quick. I may have to change sources here, but I think that you'll find this interesting. So if we cut the storm in two, you can see the overshooting top here at the very top of the updraft here. That's an indication too that we're looking at the possibility of hail. This is the central updraft going up in the storm, and then that's the overshooting top. So it's a very buoyant, very unstable air mass that's moving in. That's the storm that's moving close to Siloam Springs that I just cut in half. So I'd be very cautious about this storm and the potential that it has for a tornado on it. In Gravette, the stronger winds are moving through right now. Here's exit 100 southbound. I'm curious to see what we see as this moves through. Since the blues and the greens are not touching each other here, I don't think that it's on the ground, and correlation coefficient would show us if there's any debris. That little blue pixel's interesting. We'll see if it's an anomaly or not right here. That would be west-southwest of Gravette. Heavy showers and storms are underway in west central Benton County. And then additional storms are moving in to Bella Vista and eventually Pea Ridge. The rotation does pick up. Look at the darker blue colors. See how they've intensified here? So the wind damage potential is on the increase in Gravette. I'm going to go to the camera here, and then off camera, I'm going to go ahead and switch. So let's show you where the rotation is strongest. I'll keep an eye on that camera there southbound too. Let's see if we can see that any rotation or any damaging winds move across the region. This is the tornado warning polygon, and if we zoom in tight, I can show you the center of the rotation appears to be, at least right now, moving over the town of Gravette. So we're talking about First Avenue South, Main Street West, as well as El Paso Street, Dallas Street, and Charlotte Street, Birmingham Street too, in Gravette. Here's 72 coming into town with that rotation right over us here in Gravette as we speak. On the backside, there does appear to be some other kind of circulation that's going on over here too, but it looks opposite. It looks like it's spinning anticyclonically. So we'll see what happens with that particular cell. Back down to the south, we have this tornado warned storm. This one goes for another 10 minutes on this cell. We'll see if the Weather Service elects to reissue on this one. They probably will. Think it's come up a little right over Gravette, and go back to the camera. I see a couple of flashes of lightning. What I'm looking for on these cameras is power flashes. Occasionally, you can see some pinks and or some purples that indicate the presence of power lines going down. At the moment, I don't see that. Nothing south of Fayetteville at the moment, and then two tornado warned cells. The Weather Service did elect to trim it back here in Gravette, so they have trimmed it back. It now includes um, still most of Benton County for the time being, anyway. It's a little sliver there that's not there, just to the east of 72. Bella Vista is in the path of this, so if you're in Bella Vista, it's a good idea to move to your safe place now and get away from windows until this thing completely passes over your area. There's the tornado warning polygon. Curious to see, looking southbound from the Missouri state line, what we can see. This is near Sulphur Springs. Not much to see at the moment. Of course, these traffic cams are more focused on, well, traffic than the sky, right? Lots of lightning on these cameras, though, that I'm watching off camera. Looking northbound from exit 97, this is close to Gravette as well. Heavy rain starting to pick up. No indication of anything too bad, at least on the camera shots for right now. That's the Centerton exit near 97. The tornado warning actually does not include Centerton. It's just to the north of that. But it does include Bella Vista. Now it's going to cross over the Highlands exit. I want to show you where that is. That's right in here near, let's see, it's 100, so it's 102. It's a little farther north, right in here. So this is along the Bella Vista bypass, and if we look northbound from that, it's too bad we can't look south because I think we'd be looking right at the circulation. But northbound from the Highlands, this is what it looks like. I think that other camera is going to give us a better tell of what's happening, and just like yesterday, we'll be able to see ground truth on the hail to see if it's actually occurring and how much hail is falling out of this. I don't see any significant hail as compared to what we had yesterday with the storm. Southbound at exit 100 in Gravette, we're right in the thick of it now. No power flashes. Doesn't look terrible. I don't see any hail bouncing around on the ground. Let's go back to this radar source and look at a full view. Go ahead and animate this too. As long as they can stay isolated, they're going to have the tornado threat. I'm curious to see if any of these are going to take off. They've tried southwest of Fort Smith, but none of them have had a whole lot of success so far. The one near McAlester has, though. Still watching the cell. The thing about this cell now is it has access to an open environment near Prairie Grove, so there's no storms obstructing the inflow. That could be an indication, too, that it may be back on the uptick. Indeed. Wow. This is near Westville, guys. Wow. This tornado would be tracking northeast. Right turn is going to put it real close to the Arkansas border. Go back to velocity here. Strong rotation on that storm. Strong rotation moving right over Gravette. Very strong winds. Here's what it looks like as it's hitting. Again, this is exit 100 on the Bella Vista bypass. Those damaging winds would be moving over right now, as well as the potential for hail and a tornado risk with this. Although there has been no indication, at least as of right now, that this is on the ground. Isolating just the wind speeds. Looks as if it's moved to the east. I would place it right here. Also damaging winds on the west side of the county. Circulation is still here going on near Westville. It's been very cyclical. I'm following it here near Tahlequah, right? So you've got it here, and then watch as it moves northeast. There it is here. Gets close to Westville, to where we are right now. We still have some pretty decent rotation on this north of Westville. That's going to be northwest Washington County, southwest Benton County for that second tornado warned storm. The one moving through Bella Vista as of right now still shows a damaging wind risk. It does not show, at least at the moment, of any tornado risk of it. Well, any tornado on the ground. Rephrase that. I don't see any debris signatures on radar. Out towards the Bella Vista interchange, the rain has started to pick up. That's looking southbound. So that's where you start on that Bella Vista bypass and then head west northwestward. I'm also seeing two more areas of rotation. These are not tornado warned yet, but I think they probably get it soon. That is in Oklahoma near southwest of Choteau, west of Wagner, and northwest of Muskogee. I bet we get some warnings on those soon too. Where are those tracking on that? Let's see here. Loop that thing out. These could also threaten Benton County in time. So you got two pockets of rotation there. You have one that's moving into Washington County, and you have still another one that's moving across central and northern Benton County, right over Bella Vista right now. Bella Vista, I would take your tornado precautions. Just know that at the moment we haven't had any signs of this thing being on the ground, but the rainfall is just something else. I mean, you can hardly see anything and Gravette. The wind, the rain, really getting blasted and Gravette. And that's looking northbound, so these cars are headed out towards Missouri. Basically right in the thick of this thing, huh? Good night. Just torrential rainfall. As far as the hail goes, I'm going to look at that real quick. By the way, I'm still watching this guy near Westville. Hail potential doesn't look as high as it was yesterday. The one near Kiowa, near McAlester, does have more hail in it than the one to the north. There will be some small hail in this storm, probably about quarter size. It's not really that small, but considering what we just had in Springdale, it's frankly a lot better than what we just had, right? I still don't like how this looks with that little hook that's indented in there. The Weather Service did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Benton, Washington, and northern Adair County. They're going to let that go till 6:15, about another 30 minutes. They've got it moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. They also did tag this tornado possible on this whole warning polygon. So pretty much all of Benton County, either under a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning right now. This tornado warning set to expire here in about 2 minutes or so. We'll see if that gets reissued. I also think we probably have some warnings coming here for Wagner and the west northwest side of Wagner, just based on the rotation that's out there. There has been one confirmed tornado so far. That was near Cole, Oklahoma. Emergency managers reporting that one. That is southwest of McAlester. It's another wide view for those of you who are just tuned into this thing. There it goes. All right, we've got a new tornado warning. This is the same storm we were just talking about. So this does include Rogers, Cave Springs, Elm Springs, Eiffel, Pawneetown, and Springdale. Again, a tornado warning in effect now for Benton and Washington County on the northwest side of the county. Let's go back to radar. You can see it lighting up here. It's the darker red polygon that you're seeing from Elm Springs to the southwest. It's that same one. It's the one I thought we'd probably get that warning on, and sure enough, here we are with it. Now, the problem with this storm, other than the fact that it's probably going to move over my house in about 15 minutes, is it's been very cyclical and has geared up and down over time. So I think what happens with this is it will cycle, but the southwest side is going to need to be watched extremely closely for that tornado risk. And I do think there's a fairly high risk of a tornado here near Cincinnati, about to cross over Highway 59. That would put this out towards Weddington, and then a long track of this near Highway 16, and eventually crossing over 412, and then potentially getting into Heifel, as well as Cave Springs and Elm Springs. I'll back out a little more here. Let's see if we can see this thing spinning. Yeah, it's had some pretty persistent rotation. If anything, I think it's moved a little north. You guys can watch it too. See it right here? What I'm talking about is this little couplet right in here. So with time, that moves close to Elm Springs and crosses over 412. Let's go back to analyst. Let's see if there's any debris in this thing. Pull it back up for you. Still some tight rotation, nothing that indicates it's currently on the ground. I'm going to recalibrate the color table here. I would put the center of the rotation here right along Highway 59 to the south of Siloam Springs, near Cincinnati, north of Summers, and then northeast of Westville. That track will take it out across most of southwestern Benton County near Siloam Springs, potentially the west side of Springtail near Tawnytown, and potentially Rogers and Cave Springs. Nothing in the moment that shows that it's on the ground, but something indeed to watch very, very closely. Tornado risk, in my opinion, from Bella Vista is just to our north now. I think it would be closer to right in here. So I think it has moved over the state line into Missouri. They've elected to issue a severe thunderstorm warning on that. The tornado warned storm here, they've got it moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. They're calling the tornado near Cincinnati. No indication that it's on the ground as of right now. Right here is where it's circulating. Isolate the rotation, you can really get a feel for where it is. Again, that's north of Summers, south of Siloam Springs, and then moving northeast up towards Johnson and Springdale. Again, that circulation north of Bella Vista has already moved to the north and to the northeast. I'm going to go back to a couple of different shots here. I'm going to go to a wide view again. Let's go with reflectivity first. Sorry, let me get that pulled up for you. Now, there is stuff to the south that's competing with the storm. You can see some showers that are just south of Fayetteville right here. That could be competing with the inflow. The storm needs a nice clean inflow to really take off. If you get that clean inflow, you can feed in that warm, moist air into the thunderstorm, and that helps it wrap around too. So, with the storms to the south, that could mess with the dynamics of the tornado, which is good. It would serve to weaken it. At least as of now, though, I don't see anything that indicates it's weakening. Notice the Weather Service did cancel the tornado warning for Bella Vista. Makes total sense. It's what we just talked about. It has been trending down. Want to go to my good friend's camera, David Latanzio. He is in West Rogers. This is out towards 112 and kind of in the vicinity of Shadow Valley. And we're just now starting to get some of those lightning strikes move into Rogers. We will get more in Rogers as this moves through. Again, look at the storm, and I'm going to go back to analyst. It really just tells the better story of where this is. Hail on this, I'm showing about half inch. As far as what we just had the other day, this is a half inch is great. I mean, compared to the golf ball and baseball size wind-driven hail that we had in Springdale. You guys in Heifel expect to have this pick up quite a bit, though, from heavy wind and rain from Cave Springs west to Heifel and also west to Tawnytown, west of Johnson, too. So the pocket of rotation is still strongest right in here. We can talk about some neighborhoods that are currently affected by it. Here's a new scan too, that'll help. Let me look at velocity first. So we're looking at it right there near Cincinnati. So if there is a tornado that occurs in the next few minutes, it would be along Cincinnati Creek Road, Highway 59, and then out towards Rennick Road. This is northwest Washington County. This is on track to move towards Lake Weddington, Trident, and Norwood. Here's Highway 244 running east and west. What road is this here? Chambers Springs Road in the path of this. And then potentially in due time, it crosses over 412 and potentially gets into Elm Springs and Cave Springs. We'll see. We'll see how it trends, right? We know it's cyclical and it's been up and down, but so far this is the only game in town as far as strong storms go. That said, there are additional storms that are underway here near McAlester. These are tracking closer to Fort Smith. Those may be another hour or two out. Once the front moves through, all of us also get the severe weather as the front makes its way into the area. Quite a bit going on with the weather today from several different angles. Back to velocity. Going to loop this for you. Let's see how this trends. Interesting. Can you guys see the second rotation? Okay, so we have the main area of rotation to the south, but what I'm also starting to notice now is I'm starting to notice a little pocket of rotation here as well as here. So there may be a couple of them. This one's a new one on the north side. I'll loop it again. You guys can see it come into play. And again, like what I said earlier, these things will occlude and the rotation breaks off and gets absorbed into the parent storm. So sometimes you can get sisters and get two of those tornadoes going on at the same time. As of right now, I don't see anything that indicates to us that it's on the ground. Um, but this is a tornado warned cell. That second rotation that just popped up is just west of Norwood. That's close to Martin Road. It's also close to Fisher Ford Road. That's southeast of Lake Francis. The parent rotation that caused the tornado warning is north of Cincinnati now, along Cincinnati Creek, State Road 25, which would be Cincinnati Creek Road. I think we just mentioned that a second ago. So those two are definitely ones to watch. Let's look at how this trends again. Yeah, a little piece broke off there to the north, so we'll see what that thing does right in here. Again, that center of circulation, though, is currently moving towards Weddington and Trident near Highway 16, southeast of Lake Francis. Back to analyst. Wide view first. Really nasty storm near McAlester down there. You have to watch that one real close. This one, I'm backing it up right now. Really wrapped up right in here. See the little triangle? And then watch how it evolves. That's when it moved north of Christie and Westville. This is when it crossed over the state line. And we still have the circulation there. It's moved a little more north, which is not uncommon given the fact that you're looking at the northern piece that broke off and went a little more north. But still looking at those storms moving in, regardless of whether or not they're spinning or not. Certainly the shape of it does hold that supercell potential. To me, it looks like it may have jogged a little more north. That could have been cause for weakening. When it takes that more easterly track, when it moves more right and makes that right turn, tornado threat goes up quite a bit more. Let's go back to the other source here. Here's another wide view of the storm. I mean, it's still circulating though. It's really easy to see. Red is away. Think red shift like outer space. Green is inbound. the radar would be down to the south, and so you have that circulation that's going on right here. It's a very broad circulation. It is not tight. It's not wrapped up. Given the dynamics in the atmosphere, it probably won't take a whole lot. What's also interesting to me too is if you guys can see the curl of those red colors into the storm back to the west, that's an indication too it's ingesting a lot of those low level wind fields and pulling them back around. So the storm is still breathing, so to speak, and ingesting some of that low level helicity and low level wind shear, which is helping to keep it going. I would put a tornado, should it occur, out towards Weddington on 244. That would be close to Fullerton Drive. Again, no indication that this is on the ground right now. It's going to be interesting to see how the storms just to the south, right in here, interact with that parent circulation. If they move more north, they'll wrap into it. If they move more west, they're going to kill it. It's going to be one of the two, though. Here's another animated loop of this. It's got more of a north jog to it. Back to velocity. That would be moving close to Trident and Norwood with this tornado warned storm. This tornado warning, by the way, goes until they're expiring in 34 minutes. I'm going to read the bulletin real quick for you. They have the warning till 6:30. And again, they don't have any indication that it's been on the ground yet either. Another look at it as it plays out. And then let's take a look at some hail too. Storms near McAlester are interesting. They're robust. They don't have anything out ahead of them. So I think they have a higher potential if I stop this. See what I mean? I mean, there's a whole lot of unobstructed air down there that it can just ingest. Those would threaten the Fort Smith area. As of now, the one that's under the gun is the storm here in southwest Benton and northwest Washington County. Another look at analyst on this. No, the rotation doesn't look as tight as it did earlier. That's a good thing for us. But it was way more wrapped up right there, right there. And then watch these green colors fall off. So we've lost some of the circulation on it. Doesn't mean that we can just ignore the storm. It looks like it's out of Washington County now and is in Benton. I'd put the tornado should one happen here just what is that, Highway 16 that runs through here? So just to the south southwest of Highway 16. And then what we'll be watching for and waiting for is to see if any of this stuff starts to pick up in terms of the inbound outbound winds. It was that north movement that really limited this. More east movement would probably cause this to ramp back up. Another thing with these mesocyclones that are like this too is you really can't discount them. Watch this. I'm going to tilt the radar up. Actually, I'm going to go to base velocity first, and then I'm going to start tilting the radar up. And you can see as we get up in the atmosphere, this thing is still there. That's going up 13,000 feet. So it's a deep storm. And even though down at the surface, you may not be looking at it fully wrapped up, as you get higher in the atmosphere, it is still spinning. And so as long as we have that spin that's ongoing in the atmosphere, we're looking at that potential um, for a tornado. Damaging winds out towards Shoto. Very strong debris signature here. Wow. That one is likely on the ground near Blanco, northeast of Pittsburgh, Oklahoma. That is more intense here. Matter of fact, yeah. At 5:53, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was isolated over Blanco, moving northeast at 55. So this thing is on the ground here west of Wilburton. This is you guys in Fort Smith and Van Buren to watch. That's the storm that could affect us. In due time, it may actually affect northwest Arkansas too. We'll see if it holds together. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust reported here near Shoto. Wind velocities are still not extremely high on this storm. Tornado warning on this goes until 7 o'clock. That's tornado watch. Tornado warning. They canceled it for 8 air. 6:30 on this. They've got the tornado warning until 6:30. Another 30 minutes. As of right now, I actually see a weakening trend on it. Um, Still tracking northeast, southwest Benton County. I think it's out of Washington right now. But the radar couplet is not close to being as pronounced as it was earlier. Doesn't mean it won't be. Just mean it's trended down. It's cycled down. Look at this little guy in Fayetteville real quick. Nope, nothing spinning there. That's good. Let's check for hail. Got some hail in the storm here. Maximum estimated hail size. It's going to run about 0.25. That's not very large. That's about dime size, perhaps nickel at best. Hail doesn't seem to be as big of an issue with that storm, at least at the moment. Back to a wide view. And let's animate this. The overall radar presentation, though, is what I don't like about it. It does have more of that kidney bean shaped look to it. Um, that could be an indication, too, that it's trying to recycle. We'll have to see how this one's going to play out. I do think they trim that warning back here soon, and they probably take out Washington County. There's the tornado warned storm. Let's back up a little. It would be right here near Norwood. Should one occur, it'd be on Highway 16 near Norwood. We'd call it near Old Norwood Church Road and Highway 16, as well as Walker Road. That's where that circulation is currently located. Another loop of the storm. Yeah, it's cyclical. It'll come back up. Watch it here. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Probably going to start cycling back up here. Just especially if we get another couple of scans with those darker green colors there on the left side. So if we extrapolate that out, that probably puts that right through the center of this polygon. Robinson, Logan, perhaps Elm Springs, Healing Springs, and Cave Springs in time. It's the only one that's actually spinning at the moment locally. Looks like a new tornado warning has been issued here. This is for Locust Grove. So this tornado warning is going to be more for northeast Oklahoma. This is coming in towards Delaware County, I think, and I think this one is going to be more affecting central Cherokee and central Delaware County. So another tornado warning here on this track. This one could scrape northwest Benton County, but I think most of it may actually go just to the west. Here it is back on radar. There's the second tornado warning that just got issued. Numerous tornado warnings now in effect here, lined up from McAlester up through Claremore. Looks like that one that's north of Fayetteville continues to lift north. Hopefully, if it keeps lifting north, we'll get a little bit of a weakening trend on it. I think the tornado threat is out of Washington County. I imagine the Weather Service will update that soon. Let's see if we can get a new radar scan through here. Again, the center of the circulation is west southwest of Elm Springs. There's a new update. Still kind of doesn't look that great to me. If anything, there's another one up here near Salem Springs that's showing something interesting. Analyst will tell us more. There's a wide view of all the storms that are moving in. And those are some nasty storms around McAlester. So that circulation, if you can see that little red dot I put on there, has moved more northeast now. More of a damaging wind risk, I think, out towards Highful, close to about 50 miles an hour. To me, the tornado threat looks like it has come down quite a bit here. It could be the way it's moving more north than east. See how it just lifted north right there? So something to watch still. As of right now, though, I'm less concerned than I was about 20 minutes ago with that storm. This one's really cranking. See what it looks like here near Shoto and Locust Grove? Matter of fact, I'll show you what this looks like if we isolate this rotation. This is spinning a lot more right here near Salina, southeast of Prairie. No indication that that one is on the ground either. That one's rain wrapped. You're not going to see that one coming. Those are the worst. I do think this one's become uncoupled though. You see how it moves in from the bottom of the screen there and then kind of falls apart? How those blue colors kind of run north? It's lost the tight circulation on it. So unless something changes, I'm not sure they're going to reissue that warning downstream to include all of Rogers. And then farther south, of course, we have those storms that are moving in out towards Wilburton, coming into Fort Smith too. All of this is part of a much larger system. You can see all the wind damage reports from across the area. There's a 69 mile per hour gust that happened in McDonald County. That was measured. 57 miles an hour in southeast Kansas. Here's another gust. Tree on a house and a truck. That's no fun. Multiple power lines down. 69 mile per hour gust at the Coffeyville Airport. And that other 60 mile per hour gust out towards Shoto. A tornado on the ground near Cole, Oklahoma. That's part of this supercell that's near McAlester. And again, guys, this one's the one that's going to be coming up towards the Fort Smith area. Back to street level mapping here. So the center of that circulation now, it's still there. It's just very weak. It's north of Highway 16. It's about to come over Pedro and Robinson. Remember, Pedro had some of that hail earlier on 412. And I think they've got a camera there I can pull up and show you what it looks like looking to the west. So that's going to be coming in on the left side of the screen. This is still tornado warned. And then the circulation would be right here, north of Weddington. Very weak, not strong at all. It's good to see. This Locust Grove one is strong. I think actually intensifying. Let's see how this one has been trending. Yeah, you got a pretty nice little storm there. It's also moving more east than northeast, which can sweep out more of that low level spin too. So this is going to need to be one to watch. I don't think it gets into Washington County at all. This may clip northwest Benton County. Its current track could get it close to Gravette, Sulphur Springs, and Bella Vista. We'll see how that one plays out too. As far as the intensity goes for heavy rainfall, right now we're getting very heavy rain and wind out towards Elsie Hickman Road and Bush Road. This is right there off North Tycoon and Wade Drive. And look at that. Weather Service just canceled the tornado warning. Awesome. So they did cancel it for Benton County. So no tornado warning as of right now. You saw why. You saw it decouple, and you saw the northern part run away from the central parent circulation. So hopefully that continues to be the case. The tornado warning for Benton County has been canceled. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, though, and we still have some very strong storms out there on West Fish Hatchery Road. That's going to be along North Vaughn Road and North Tycoon, where it's really coming down here off of Vaughn. That's near Sweetbriar, um, Anniston Road, Amber Way, and then on the north side of Fish Hatchery Road near Yorkshire, Tiburon Drive, farther north, Western Heights Circle, and west of 279 off Centerton Boulevard, and even crossing over 102, you're getting some of those storms out there towards West Sunflower, Evergreen, Brookfield Drive, and Spicewood Trail. That's up towards Bliss Street. And then you get closer towards, looks like Apple Ridge Drive, Maplewood Drive, and Sherwood, as well as Zachary Street. And still yet more just south of Seba off of Meadow Ridge Court, Napa Avenue, Silverhorn Drive that runs north, and then north of that along Pebble Pass, Sunshine Court, Monarch Road. Heavy showers and storms are underway in this area too. But the tornado threat has fallen off on this storm. Hopefully it stays that way. Right now we still have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect though. I'm going to look at these wind speeds again one more time. Let's just take a look at it. So the actual mesocyclone is still there. There's just not very much spin on it. It's near 102 west of Centerton. That would be near South Pilly's Hill Road, it looks like. So that's going to cross 102. Now, it's not tight rotation. I don't think a tornado is occurring at all out of that right now. I do think this one has some tornado potential, though, near Locust Grove. And that stuff that's west southwest of Fort Smith. Good night. Look at that rotation. That's something else. You got some really bright colors here of bright yellows indicating strong outbound winds and inbound winds. McAlester, holy smokes. Let's look at this real quick. There may very well be a tornado on the ground in McAlester. Very wrapped up in this area. There's going to be wind damage for sure. So with time, this one is also going to be tracking northeast. So where does this go? Well, this one is going to move through McAlester and Wilburton, could get to Stigler, could get into the Fort Smith area too. This is also a tornado warned storm that's in eastern Oklahoma that's tracking northeast. We also have that tornado warned storm near Locust Grove that's also moving northeast. That one has come up in intensity right here near Locust Grove, moving east northeastward. If we see more of an east turn on it, it would indicate intensification. Yeah, it's close for Benton County. It's real close. It may get to Sulphur Springs. I doubt it gets into Rogers, though. We need it to hook a lot more to the right for it to get into Rogers or Bentonville. It'll be close for Bella Vista. That's the only other strong one that's out there, at least for right now. What happens next out of all this? Let's take a look at some of the images here for the model runs looking ahead through time. Let's see if I can pull that up for you real quick. There we go. So here's where we are with the showers and storms that are moving through, right? This line continues to push east. That's that gaggle of storms that's out there around McAlester. That tracks close to Fort Smith this evening, about 7 or 8. And then we continue with additional line of storms right through this late evening. So you have several waves. You have this first one, a second one, and then a third one that comes through. And then everything should be said and done overnight. The line that moves through, though, once that line gets here later on this evening, I think that line will have a pretty high severe weather risk as well on the storm. I wonder if I can pull up some of the helicity tracks on this real quick. Yeah. So this is where the computer model is showing some of the stronger low-level spin. That does include most of the Fort Smith area as well as Northwest Arkansas, and that actually probably lines up really well with the Storm Prediction Center risk area. You can kind of see where it is. Um, where the darker red colors are also kind of coincides with um, where the helicity track is. So I think that it's maximized right near McAlester. It's probably why that thing's going a little bit bonkers right now. Go back to a wide view here of the storm. Yeah, that thing is nasty near Hartshorn. Ugh. Hopefully that falls apart. They did issue the tornado warning on this storm, but they've trimmed it back some. That's the one near Locust Grove. That one may get close to North Benton County. Current track, I think it clips northern Benton County, but I don't think it gets in there. I don't think it bisects the county, though, at least on its current track. And the pocket of rotation may have come up just a smidge northwest of Centerton, right here. Be rain wrapped anyway, but you can see some of those reds and greens that are still next to each other. But note the colors too. I mean, you can compare the green and red here to the green and red here. These are a lot stronger, and there's a much greater chance of a tornado with that one than there is with this one that's farther to the east. And for that matter, compare that down to the south. We got one here near Warner. That one's not even warned yet. Let's see if we probably get a new one in this area. Yeah, I bet this thing gets warned soon too. And then, of course, we got this one that's just banging out a huge windstorm here west of Wilburton near Hartshorn. That's a nasty storm. And that sucker's going to be tracking northeast as well. So I'm going to go back to a wide view, kind of give you a look at how this whole thing is playing out. Been talking here for about a little over an hour. Kind of got a little crazy pretty quick, didn't it? So this line of storms is going to continue to trend and track northeastward. I'm going to continue to watch these storms right on through the rest of the evening. I'll be doing some updates here on Facebook. This is also simulcasting on YouTube as well. So if you happen to lose power, you can get that on Facebook or YouTube, as well as many local TV stations. I know my good friend Scott Covert on KFSM is covering these storms, and my good friend Zachary Hall, Arkansas Storm Chaser, he's been covering these storms too. So if you want extended coverage of this, I'm sure Zach is on it right now as well. Watch the one south of Fort Smith, guys. That one's ugly. If it continues its current track, that could put a tornadic storm somewhere close to the greater Fort Smith area. I would estimate about an hour from now by the time it gets there. The storm that's in northeast Oklahoma that's also tornado warned, that thing could also get into Benton County. Both of those two cells are two storms to watch, and anything that pops up in the middle will also be a storm to watch too. I'm going to take a quick break for now, but I'll jump back on as more storms move into the area. Again, tornado warnings have been canceled for Benton County and Washington County. We have two more supercells to watch, one that may threaten northwest Benton County and another one that may move into the Fort Smith area. Both of those about 30 minutes to an hour out. I'll be here with more information as the evening progresses.